Oh, hi there. I just got a Viking-styled ox horn for drinking beer out of, as you can see. I wasn't going to make a video about this because, I just didn't feel like it, but I figured, well, in the future I'll be making videos while drinking out of the beer horn, so I may as well explain what it is. Basically, this is the horn of an ox. It's meant to be Viking style because they sometimes drink alcoholic beverages out of horns. This one, however, has a lacquer on the inside of it so that it's, not bad for me as I drink out of it. And it's got no flavor to it either, which is good. It's like just any ordinary cup, really, as far as, taste goes when you pour beer in it. I was quite happy with it because it came quite quickly. I didn't pay any heavy duty shipping and handling or anything like that, just standard, and I think it was like $5, and it still came real quick. I forget how many days, but no time at all. I don't know where they're situated. I actually think they're somewhere in Canada, but I don't know. Anyway, there's that. I had read the reviews on it, and a fair amount of people complained that it didn't actually hold very much beer. Well, I mean, the ox is a fair-sized animal. They can get, quite large, but they don't have, giant, massive triceratops horns. Those typically don't really exist in the animal world anymore, with the exception of elephants and a couple other animals like the walrus and things like that. I had thought that horns and tusks were, different from each other because, I just figured tusks were more or less big teeth, and they typically are either in or around the mouth, so I figured, well, horns different because it's usually on top of the head. But no, they're more or less the same. They're both hollow. They say with the ox horn that the tip is harder, and I believe that, and that's pretty sharp horn considering. Definitely behind a powerful animal that could most certainly do a lot of damage. But right now it's relegated to having a beer vessel for me. I'm quite happy with the size. It fits just under a 355 milliliter can or bottle of beer. So it doesn't hold a lot, but I'd rather that it held the amount it does, and it has the lacquer on the inside, which takes up space, of course, than it not have it and, be able to fit that beer. It's not that much more effort to, pour it twice, or, what's left into the second glass. The only thing I'm not really impressed with on this thing is the outer, gold-plated, or not gold-plated, but, gold-styled rim. It's a bit shoddily made, you may notice, and it was like that when I first opened it up. But that's okay. That's that's aesthetic. It's not too big a deal. I wouldn't recommend dropping this thing because I just wouldn't recommend it. I'm not saying it would break, but I'm not even going to take that chance. So, I mean, I didn't pay exceptionally a lot for it, but even so, I think it's cool. Something, 1,000 years ago, someone similar to me would have been drinking out of something like this. And I think that's pretty awesome. It did also come with a stand. Some of them come with belts, and some of them come with stands, and some of them come with both. This one came with a stand. As you can see, this goes in like that, and then it's able to hold it up like that. And it is also made of ox horn. Obviously they've done something different with it, or not done what they did differently with this one. I don't really know. I didn't do that much investigation into it. Because the thing is, when you go to look up this sort of stuff, it does kind of like head in the direction of ivory, and elephants with that, and that's infamous and frowned upon, I suppose for a good reason. I mean, I do have a rhinoceros whip though, but that's 100 years old. That's not quite the same thing as poachers in Africa today. Not the same thing at all. It's completely different. This I think is pretty cool. I was inspired to get it because of Loki from the Thor comics. He's got a new movie coming out. Well, it's not him, but he's in the movie obviously, called Thor Ragnarok, which could be pretty good. It's got Hela in it, and it looks pretty interesting. I'm usually not into those type of movies, the Avengers type of scene. I did just see the new Spider-Man. I thought that was pretty good, considering that Peter Parker was a little dweeb in it. I mean, he was supposed to be 15, so I guess it made sense. Yeah, I could make a review about that movie, but last time I made a review about a movie, or a review about anything, the video got taken down, so I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I'm making a review about this beer vessel. Which is also not the same thing as making a review about a music video that got taken down. Yeah, not much else to say about it. It's got a fair weight to it, as you may expect out of a horn. Just to give you some context on how big this thing is, here's a beer glass, and that's the horn. So, it's a little bit bigger, but with the lacquer, it doesn't fit as much. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess I got nothing else to say about this thing. So, in case anyone was wondering if they see me drinking out of this thing in future videos, this is what it is. It's an ox horn, Viking style, and it's for drinking beer. I wouldn't try drinking anything else out of like fruit juice or cider or anything like that, just because it may leave a bit of an odor or something like that. I don't know, but I think just beer in it and just wash it out every time I use it, I think would be perfectly fine. It is not going in the dishwasher, that's for sure. The internet says it's fine to, but it could break in there. Like, I'm not too concerned about the lacquer being washed off, or, because it's pretty thick in there. But, obviously, like, beer glasses and things like that in general, you typically don't want to put them in the dishwasher anyway. And if you've got a gentle setting on your dishwasher, then that would be the one you would use. Because you don't want the artistic designs to be washed off or anything like that. And that does happen. And you will get people who are anal retentive about, the cleanliness of their beer drinking vessels, and will refuse to drink out of somebody else's because I've had it happen before. I'm like, I could tell you stories of people when they were being irrational with me, but I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, this should be hand washed. It's just, it's a bit of a tricky shape, so I gotta really think about how I'm gonna go about doing that. Yeah, anyway, that's what I got, so I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.